Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Wednesday, September 30th, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update. In today's video, we have very exciting news to cover because House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows both said yesterday evening on Tuesday that they're hopeful they can reach a new second stimulus bill agreement today and have a bill at least pass the House by the end of the day today. This is a fresh burst of optimism one day after House Democrats unveiled a new $2.2 trillion stimulus bill and stalled talks resumed. Next up, we're going to go over how a top House Democrat said late on Tuesday that Democrats would be waiting until noon today to hear back from the White House with a counteroffer to the new $2.2 trillion bill that House Democrats announced on Monday. House Democrats plan to put their $2.2 trillion bill up for a vote to pass if they don't hear a counteroffer by noon. And finally, we're going to go over how House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer said he expects that we will have some agreement by the end of the day today, and we will at least see the bill pass the House. He added that Democrats would wait on the outcome of the GOP offer, see how it looks, and if it looks good, well then they'll wait, but if it doesn't look good, then they're going to go ahead and vote on their $2.2 trillion bill and pass that in the House as a political move. But before we get started, it would really mean a lot if you could like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. It currently says about 50% of you watching are not subscribed, so if you'd like to stay up to date on the stimulus check and other finance news updates, well then please be sure to subscribe. Also, don't forget you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $20 when you download the M1 Finance app as well. So, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows both said Tuesday evening that they're hopeful they can reach a new stimulus agreement today and have a bill at least pass the House by the end of the day today. This is a fresh burst of optimism one day after the House Democrats unveiled a new $2.2 trillion stimulus bill that was the HEROES Act 2.0. Pelosi told reporters at the Capitol an agreement could come this week, which is supposed to be Congress's final week in Washington before recessing through the election so they could go home for their campaign trails. She spoke by phone for about 50 minutes Tuesday morning with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, with whom she negotiated 4 different relief bills earlier in the year in March and April, totaling about $3 trillion across all of the bills. Pelosi said how the talk went very well yesterday, and she thinks they will get a deal passed this week. Pelosi and Mnuchin are set to talk again later today, at which point Mnuchin is expected to come back with a more detailed response and his counteroffer to the $2.2 trillion bill. In addition, despite not being on the call with Nancy Pelosi and Steven Mnuchin, Mark Meadows, White House Chief of Staff, also expressed hope about the chances of a second stimulus bill. He came out and said on Tuesday how the Secretary and he had a couple of conversations Tuesday morning and how they also had a conversation with the President. So hopefully we'll make some progress and find a solution for the American people, he said. Moving on, a top House Democrat said late Tuesday that Democrats would be waiting until noon to hear back from the White House and Steven Mnuchin with the official counteroffer to the new $2.2 trillion aid bill that was unveiled on Monday by the House Democrats. The Republican counteroffer is expected to be roughly $1.5 trillion, which is more than Republicans had previously been willing to spend, but still nearly $1 trillion apart from Democrats. So while they are coming up to $1.5 trillion, this is still far apart from what Democrats want. So we'll have to see if Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats are willing to accept this smaller bill, even though it's lower than the $2.2 trillion they want to spend. However, if the talks do fall apart again, House Democrats plan to put their $2.2 trillion stimulus bill up for a vote this week, perhaps even tomorrow, before members depart for the October recess, and pass it simply as a political move, because this $2.2 trillion bill would go nowhere in the Senate because it is way too expensive. Pelosi confirmed plans to bring this bill up for a vote if they fail to reach a bipartisan breakthrough, and she explained this in a letter to House Democrats yesterday on Tuesday evening. In the letter, she also goes on to explain to her colleagues that the legislation that they plan to send to the floor will formalize their offer to Republicans to come to negotiations. She said essentially if they put this $2.2 trillion bill in the House for a vote, it definitely will pass, and then they're leaving it up to Republicans in the Senate to pass it as well. However, if they go ahead and vote on the bill, it very well could mean hopes for a stimulus package are dead until after the election, because top officials will be going home to start their election campaign trails. And finally, Representative Steny Hoyer, who is the second-ranking Democrat in the House, he told reporters early Tuesday night that hopefully a substantive response tomorrow morning by noon will be announced by the White House and the Republicans in the Senate, and that this is ultimately what Democrats are waiting on right now. He said they could go for a vote sooner, but they're waiting to see if this counteroffer is something they could actually pass. Stimulus talks, which have remained largely dormant since early August, had flickered to life as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin spoke earlier Tuesday for the second time in less than 24 hours. And Pelosi was upbeat about the approximately 50-minute call last night about the prospects of getting a bill passed this week. She said they had a lot of good talks about what exactly would be in the bill and the total price tag of the bill as well. After her conversation with Mnuchin, Pelosi told reporters on Capitol Hill how she is hopeful a bill will pass this week. She said she ultimately believes that if it is a bipartisan bill that passes both the House and the Senate, well then they'll get that passed this week and checks can begin arriving. If come back with a good bill that could pass, well then she'll ultimately just pass the HEROES Act 2.0 in the House and wait to see what Republicans in the Senate do. But ultimately some sort of bill will definitely pass the House either tomorrow or later in the week. California Democrat Nancy Pelosi spoke with her leadership team Tuesday evening, where Pelosi laid out plans to push ahead with the $2.2 trillion bill if bipartisan talks fail. She explained how the Rules Committee is expected to meet at 9 a.m. today on Wednesday to give Democrats the ability to move quickly if they decide they want to vote and pass the bill later today if they don't like what Steven Mnuchin proposes. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer said he expects that we will have some agreement today and we'll at least see the bill pass the House, adding that Democrats are willing to wait for the GOP counteroffer, but ultimately if the bill isn't a good proposal, then they will certainly go ahead and pass this $2.2 trillion bill. It's just a quick update on what is going on with the second stimulus check and second stimulus package as of Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $20 when you download the M1 Finance app as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.